Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku daily analysis for the SP 500 for Tuesday, September the 20th. Well, a red-bodied candle today, and that tells us that the sellers have made some net bearish progress on the day. So the bullishness that was in the market yesterday has disappeared. And just looking at this candle, where we've closed in relation to the range, we've closed in the middle of the range, which is telling us that neither side won control of the battle between the bulls and the bears throughout the day. That it's a fairly, because of the close, it's a fairly neutral, indecisive candle. The market has opened at the high and closed in the mid-range level with a shadow on the bottom, and that's telling us that the sellers have lost control. The sellers attempted to take control of the market when they sold the market down from the open, but the buyers came back in. The buyers didn't have the power to close the market up near the highs again, but they were only strong enough to close the market in the middle of the range, which means indecisiveness on both for both parties, and that the candle was in that neither side won the battle between the bulls and the bears. The trend is now down. We have a lower high and a lower low. We've just taken out the previous low, and certainly not a substantial downtrend at the moment, although technically it is. We need to keep an eye on potential for a retracement to the Tenkan-sen, which is the green line, or to the Kijun-sen, and there's a real possibility that there will be a retracement back towards the Kijun-sen, because we know that when the Kijun-sen turns flat, as we've seen here on this occasion here, then there tends to be a retracement back towards that. So there is potential for the market to retrace back towards the 1060 level. But first, before the market does that, it will need to take out this previous resistance level at 1080. That will potentially hold as an area of support for this market, and also the fact that the Kijun-sen is immediately in that area. The Tenkan-sen is immediately in that area. Adds to the weight that there is potential support at the 1080 level. We know that when markets are trending very strongly, that the Tenkan-sen tends to act as an area of support or resistance, and in this case we can see from the angle of the Tenkan-sen that the market has had very strong upside momentum, so there is potential for that retracement there. The market is still in the second time frame uptrend, where we have a series of higher peaks and higher troughs, and here we have a trough, a peak, a higher trough, and a higher peak, a higher trough, a higher peak. So there is potential for that second time frame uptrend to continue on its way, and we don't have any evidence that the second time frame uptrend is about to end at the moment. The evidence of that would be in the first time frame for a downtrend, and for the market to then form a series of lower peaks and lower troughs in the second time frame, but there's no evidence for that yet. Now, this 1100 level that we identified is still holding as resistance, so the market will need to have a solid close up above there for the market to appreciate, and I think we identified around 1160 as a potential area of resistance for the market if it does continue to appreciate. We are trading up above the cloud or the Kumo, so that is giving the market a positive bias, and we are trading up above the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen, which means the market is bullish, and the Tenkan-sen is above the Kijun-sen. When we also look to this line here, which is the orange line, it's called the Chiku span, and in traditional Ichimoku charts it has some importance, and that's simply the current closing price projected backwards 26 periods. And it's merely done so that we can compare the current closing price to the closing price of 26 periods ago, and it's above it, so that is giving us a bullish bias as well to the market. As I've said previously, I tend to focus on some of the other Ichimoku indicators rather than the Chiku span. I think that the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen, and the cloud are much more robust as indicators than that. Now, if the market does come off and it does trade down below the Kijun-sen, then we do have a lot of support on the way down. Previous resistance level and then support level around 1041. then around 1018, and that will roughly coincide with the top of the cloud. And we've got support all the way down through the cloud, so there's very, very strong resistance, and it's highly unlikely that this market will make it all the way down through here. So the potential is very, very strong that the market will appreciate. As I've said, not much resistance on the way up to around 1163, very strong support on the way down.